Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. It is April 25th, 2021, and you are now watching Real Talk with Ronnie live. All right, and we're back. So thank you for joining me tonight. It is Sunday. First of all, I want to say it's been a packed week. As you guys might know, on Friday, I aired my interview with Bridget Kelly. It's been on the air for 2 days now, and already we've racked up over 1,500 views. So that's been a blockbuster. If you haven't caught it yet, you can go to my Facebook site, Real Talk with Ronnie, and you can catch it there. Or you can go to my YouTube channel, Real Talk with Ronnie, and you can watch the whole thing there too. So tonight we also have a great show. Joining us tonight, we have Mr. Richard Garcia. Mr. Richard Garcia is currently the CEO of the Newark Board of Education Employees Credit Union. And he is also currently the GOP candidate for New Jersey State Senator from the Legislative District 38. So Mr. Garcia is a mild-mannered but very, very smart guy. He's a financial whiz, and we are so happy to have him here with us today. So let's bring him back on, or let's bring him on. Hi, Richard. How are you?
Good evening, Ron. Good evening. Nice to see you.
Yeah, it's great to see you too, Richard. And I might just add, tonight we're actually airing this live broadcast at the same time as the 2021 Oscars. And it's interesting because, you know, the way that the Academy Awards has been going, the way that Hollywood has been going, I think so many people are sick of them. So I think we actually have more views. We might have more views watching us tonight than the Oscars.
I hope so. Thank you, Ron. I know your show has been doing great over the last couple of weeks, and I'm honored and blessed to be here with you this evening. Thank you for having me.
Thank you, Richard, and thanks for coming on. So, Rich, why don't you tell us about yourself, where you're from, and let us know more about you.
Sure. So, like Ron said, hello everyone out there in virtual land. My name is Richard Garcia. I'm a 20th-year resident of the beautiful township of Saddlebrook here in beautiful Bergen County. Been living in Bergen County for most of my life. Just a quick background. I came to Bergen County when I was about 14 years old. I grew up in Passaic, New Jersey, many years ago. And my mom, who's a dynamic woman, my mentor, my life, she's my inspiration. She moved us over here to have what we call a better life. Back then in the 70s, came over the bridge to Garfield, New Jersey.
Okay.
And I lived in Garfield for a couple of years, went to Garfield High School. Finished Garfield High School, I went to Bergen Community College through a program called the EOF program back in the day. And then from Bergen Community College, I went to William Patterson University.
Okay.
And studied political science and liberal arts, that type of thing. And then I got my first job. I wanted to be an attorney way back when.
Okay.
But the reality was
you decided to go a better route, right?
I spoke to a lot of attorneys, and the thing was, I didn't have that passion that you need to have for the law. I really commend all these attorneys who have that passion. You have to have that passion. Right. But I found my passion. I found my passion in finance.
Okay.
So I started at a bank. Maybe some of the folks out there in virtual land remember a bank called Anchor Savings Bank. I used to be an anchor banker many years ago.
Anchor banker, I like that.
I was an anchor banker many years ago, and I worked my way up through the banking industry, and worked at a couple of different banks throughout my career. Most notably, I spent many years at a bank called Hudson United Bank, different from Hudson City Savings. The folks in Bergen may remember Hudson City Savings, a big institution here in Paramus, New Jersey, there for 100 years. Different. I was at Hudson United Bank, based in Union City, New Jersey. Ultimately moved over to Mahwah, New Jersey, and ultimately Hudson United was sold to a Toronto bank called TD Bank.
Mike Asso, who also has his own podcast, he just commented that he remembers Anchor Bank.
I was an anchor banker back in the day.
Anchor Bank.
And then ultimately, Hudson United got bought out by a Toronto bank called TD Bank, which everybody knows TD Bank. And ultimately, I went to work for Lakeland Bank, which is a nice community bank here in New Jersey, in Bergen County and Northwest New Jersey. Wonderful institution. From there, I was recruited to be the chief growth officer at a small credit union called North Jersey Federal Credit Union. I was there for about 5 years or so. And then I got recruited to be the CEO of a small financial institution called the Newark Board of Education Employees Credit Union. And we are the bank for all the employees of the 7,000 employees of the Newark Board of Education school system. Okay. And I've been there now for 2 years, and it's been a wonderful, wonderful run. Along the way, I've learned a lot. Been humble along the way as well. Mm-hmm. I am a humble person. I always listen to my customers, and now we call them members, right? The credit union, you're a member. So it's been a great experience for the last 30 years in business. Okay. And go ahead, Ron.
No, sorry. Go ahead.
No, so I was going to say, one of the reasons I'm in this race, I'm running for state senate here in Legislative District 38. Which encompasses about 13 municipalities here in Bergen County.
Yeah, for all the viewers that are watching, let me list off those towns, right? So in Bergen County, right, there's actually 12 towns in Bergen County.
Correct.
Bergenfield, Fairlawn, which is my hometown where I, grew up, Glen Rock, Hasbrook Heights, Lodi, Maywood, New Milford, Oradell, Paramus, River Edge, Rochelle Park, and Saddlebrook, which is where you're from. So correct. Those are the 12 towns or the 12 munis in Bergen County. And then there's one in Passaic, and that's Hawthorne, right?
Hawthorne, that's correct. Hawthorne. A great community. A great community in Hawthorne. Hawthorne has a wonderful people there. All the towns of Bergen County are wonderful. Hawthorne is run by Richard Goldberg, the mayor. I had an opportunity to meet Mr. Goldberg and the Republican Party down in Hawthorne. Wonderful people, great community, a great bedroom community,
Right. Yeah, I know Hawthorne because I sometimes go to the Hawthorne Church, right? There's a huge church on Route 208. So sometimes, well, this sounds bad, but sometimes when I'm feeling like a good Christian, I might go there. Or sometimes when I really need God's help, I might go there, right? But we should all try to go to a house of worship as often as possible, right?
Absolutely.
But I think, as we get busy in life, we oftentimes forget about that aspect of our lives, our spiritual lives. But I think we should always make sure that that's important, right?
Yeah, I do believe in that. Yes.
Yeah. So, Richard, let me ask you. So, what is your ethnic background, though?
So, I am Puerto Rican.
Okay.
I am from the beautiful island of Puerto Rico. I was born in Puerto Rico. Right. I came to New Jersey very young. My mom brought us here from the island when I was very, very young. And the reality is that I come from a big family. I have 10 brothers and sisters.
Wow.
Very diverse. I have about 16 nephews and nieces. I myself am single. No children. But I do have a lovely family, a huge family. I am the favorite uncle.
We were just talking about that, right? You are the cool uncle.
I'm the cool uncle.
And all your nephews and nieces they probably go to you when they want stuff that their parents won't buy for them, right?
Yeah, that's and I just give it to them, whatever they want. I just don't tell mom, don't tell dad, don't worry about it. I got it. Yeah. And I'm a godfather to five kids. Okay. So I love kids.
So with someone as someone that doesn't have any children, you actually have more responsibilities than like an actual parent.
Yeah. Over the years, I've been involved in a lot of organizations, but one close to my heart was the Bergen County Hispanic Foundation, the Hispanic American Chamber of Commerce Foundation. We had a foundation. And we would raise funds for Latino students going to college. We've raised, $100,000 over a couple of years, and we sent a lot of kids to college. And some of these kids came to us, working at one or two jobs, working at night, and similar to a lot of students today.
Right.
I went to Bergen Community College full time. And like, life is very interesting. So when I went to Bergen Community College, I went through the UF program years ago. The UF program the TAG grants and loans are administered by the New Jersey Higher Education Student Assistance Authority, or HESA.
Okay.
And how life is, 25 years later or so, I got appointed to the HESA board and that oversaw that program. So I was very blessed to do that. And my mom always instilled in us education, always
Right.
education. That's the way out, and that's the way to move forward in life. In this country, you have to have education. Work hard, be honest, have integrity, have character, and move forward. And that's what I've always been. And so, over the years, I was telling some folks when I was speaking to the members of the Oradell Republican Club not too long ago, some of my background, because I've been blessed in banking to work for some good institutions that allow me to be involved in the community.
Mm-hmm.
And I was on several nonprofit boards for many, many years. For example, like I mentioned, I was on the Hispanic Business Council of New Jersey. I was chairman of that, which was part of Commerce and Industry. I was a board of trustees of the Meadowland Chamber of Commerce, again, a business organization in Rutherford there. I was the immediate past chairman of the Foundation for Free Enterprise. Your viewers should look that up. That Foundation for Free Enterprise is part of Commerce and Industry.
Okay.
And that organization is close to my heart because, it's a free enterprise organization, educating. We would go to students, we go to schools and talk about the free enterprise system, entrepreneurship, less government intervention.
Right.
It's okay to make money. It's okay to make money in this country. It's okay.
Yeah. What the Democrats say, or what the socialists like to say, making money is actually not an evil sin, right? It's actually one of the virtues of being from this country, right?
Exactly. You can come to this country and if you work hard, you have a dream, you do the right thing every day, you can achieve whatever you want in this country. And I'm a true believer in that. And so I would go to schools and talk to students about, my background, where I came from, and talk about starting a business, the pros and cons of having a business, because not everybody should have a business, right? Some people have that drive to be entrepreneurs,
right?
And some people don't, and that's okay, But I tell people, young people in particular, you know what? Try everything. Fall down, get up. Fall down, get up, because you don't want to be, 40 years from now looking back and say, I would have, could have, and should have.
Right. Yeah.
So I'm a big believer in that. And so I got involved in my town as well. I was on Salsa Dancer Planning Board for a number of years. I was chairman of that. Presently, I sit on the board of trustees of Eastwood College, which is based in Ramsey. They have about 5 offices.
Yeah.
And they have nursing program.
Eastwood College, for people that are not, that may not know about it, Eastwood College is more of like it's like a training school, right? Sort of.
Part of it. Part of it. In Nutley, they have an office in Nutley and an office in Patterson that is for the trades.
Right.
Not everybody. And I tell people.
Right.
And I tell people. I tell families. Maybe your child doesn't want to go to college, but maybe they want to be a plumber. Mm-hmm. They want to work at HVAC. They want to be an electrician. There's nothing wrong with that. And the reality is, they make some really good money.
Oh, there are some plumbers out there that charge just as much as lawyers, for their hourly fee.
Exactly.
And, as an electrician, if you have your own private business, you can make a lot of money.
Exactly. Everybody has a home. If you have a home, you know what it is to have your hot water heater go out one day and you got to call the plumber, or your sink is backed up, or your lights are not working, right? So you got to call somebody, and they come. So college education is not for everyone, but the trades are a great place to go. you
Yeah.
know. And it's sad, some of the schools have taken away, those types of programs, and that's very sad to see.
Yeah, and
Because,
especially since nowadays in colleges and in grad school, it's so saturated. Everybody has a college degree, everybody has a grad school degree, but the trades are being ignored, right?
correct.
So I mean, that's actually kind of like a gold mine because no one's looking at the trade schools, no one's looking at the common trades. So if you're not in college, if you don't necessarily have that desire to go to school for so many years, right?
Right.
You can go to trade school and make a very, very good living doing something very specialized that not a lot of people know how to do.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. So I love being on Eastwood College. I love the time on my nonprofit boards I've sat over the years. I've learned a lot, about a lot of different things. And recently, over the past year or so, through the COVID situation, really got me involved more into politics. Right.
Right.
I'm more of a business guy. That's what I am. I'm a business person. Over the years, I help businesses. Through my commercial background, I was a banker. I'm a banker for many, many years. I help get people SBA loans.
Right.
I help customers or members apply for lines of credit to expand their businesses, to hire employees. I help people buy their building there where they're at. Maybe they rent it for 10 years, 15, 20 years, and one day they want to buy it. I help them purchase their home. One of the things I'm very proud of is over the years, we help people buy homes. I think the market right now is just crazy. The real estate market is very crazy right now.
Right.
And there's a lot of people that are being locked out of that market because the prices are so high and living, especially in New Jersey, New York area. There's a lot going on here. So my background in bank and finance, I think, is one of the reasons why I got into this. I think New Jersey is going through some challenges. Um, I looked at Mr. Murphy. He became governor 4 years ago in 2017. When he took over, the state budget was about $35 billion.
Right.
Today, the most recent budget he approved for, he got approved, is about $44.8 billion, about a 25% increase over the 4-year period. And it's getting worse. It's getting worse. As everybody knows, New Jersey is the highest property tax state in the country. On average, we pay $9,000 on average in taxes, property taxes. The largest part of our,
And I like to say, right, especially here in Bergen County. Bergen County is the third highest taxed as when it comes to property taxes in the entire country. So
yeah,
in the entire country, Bergen County, which covers your district is most of Bergen, right? It's third highest in the entire country.
yeah. We have roughly 1 million people in Bergen County. Some people may know, some people may not know that Bergen County, if you slice it out, it could be a state. We are, 5 states that are larger. We're larger than 5 states in the union.
Right.
Bergen County. We have about 1 million people in our county. So it's a very populous state. It's a very populous county, very, very rich in some aspects, but we have areas that we need help. Over the past 14, 15 months, people have lost their jobs overnight. 1 or 2 household incomes are gone. The state has issues. One of the things that gets you really mad as a citizen is that you pay all these taxes, local, state, and federal taxes, and when you need government to be there for you, it crashes.
Right.
So as we saw the unemployment crash last year, we had people that didn't get any money for months at a time, maybe a year later, and that's just wrong.
Yeah.
That's just wrong. Where we saw the Division of Motor Vehicles just implode. How do we allow this in one of the greatest states in the country? We are one of the richest states in the country, and the management that's in place here is a problem. And so I look at it from a management standpoint. You're always preparing for the worst, right? You're always preparing for the worst.
Right.
And the worst came, and we weren't ready for it. We just weren't ready for it. And taxes keep going up. The systems keep imploding. and there's no accountability. There's no accountability.
Right.
You know, I'm a firm believer. I'm a firm believer in government, but I'm a firm believer in government that should have oversight. And right now, New Jersey, as everyone knows out there, you know, they have the trifecta. The Democrats have the governor's office, and they have both houses of the state legislature, and there's no oversight. You know, I think the Republicans in the Senate have tried to stop some of the executive orders that the governor has instituted over the past 14 months, but to no avail, right?
Yeah.
We need to work. We need to work on this. We need to make it. We need to make it more fair, a more fair playing field for our citizens.
Okay. So Richard, let me ask you though, when you're elected to the state senate, right? What do you think will be your one priority that you'll try to get through? Like, what is the one issue that you want to focus on first and foremost?
Business. We need to focus on business. We need to bring back business. My motto and my campaign is bringing business back.
Okay.
B.
Yeah,
Bringing business
think,
back.
a lot of people, especially in this state, are dying right now. Well, physically and also financially, and literally, right? I believe 30% of small businesses have shut down because of the lockdown. So I think a lot of people are struggling with their businesses, and they're looking for like this helping hand. They're looking for like this light, right? So what do you say to those people who are struggling, who haven't been able to open their business during this past year, and they're just helpless? What do you say to these people?
Well, they need to have their voices heard, right?
Mm-hmm.
They need to have their voices heard. As an elected official, we should be calling it. We should be calling all our elected officials, and inundating them with phone calls, with emails, and being in front of them. I think that as citizens, some of our liberties have been taken, right?
Right.
From a stroke of a pen, the governor says we're closing down the state of New Jersey. He decided that, but when he decided that, he didn't take into consideration people's livelihoods. You have people who have businesses here for 25, 30, 35, 40 years, and they're no longer here. They're gone. 35% of businesses, roughly a third of the businesses that were open in 2019 are gone. I'm sorry, 2020 are gone.
Yeah.
And there's people struggling. I read something about 75% of New Jerseyans, a large chunk of our population, lives paycheck to paycheck. Right?
Yeah, I think it's a large part of the U.S., right? Most people in the country live paycheck to paycheck, especially now during this time of this pandemic, right? Everyone's struggling.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. There's a in our credit union world, we have this statistic. I think about 65% of the population doesn't have $400 for an emergency fund. Right. That's dangerous. Very dangerous.
Yeah. So Richard, let me ask you though. So, what do you say to skeptical voters who might be like, all right, so we have a guy in the governor's office right now. He's a Goldman Sachs guy, right? He's a financial guy, and he's put our state into such financial mess. So why should we trust Richard Garcia, another financial guy, to try to fix the mess? Like, what can you do differently than what Phil Murphy or the Democrats have done?
Well, I believe I'm just a simple guy from Salsa Dancer, New Jersey.
Right.
That I get up every day. I go help my members. I help them start their businesses. I get their phone calls from their issues that are happening. The governor has put some things in place that have not been good for New Jersey. They went out and borrowed last year $4 billion, over $4 billion, I think $4.5 billion.
Right.
They rushed it through. Now, if you look, Senate President Sweeney and many of the Democrats are saying we shouldn't have done that. We shouldn't have borrowed all that money, because that's something that we're going to be paying that for not your kids, Ron, not your grandchildren. Your grandchildren's kids are going to be paying for this.
Yeah.
Okay. And this is a common theme in New Jersey. It's throughout the country, even in Congress. They just borrow and borrow and borrow, and there's no end in sight.
Well,
We
that
need
seems
to,
to be what the Democrats do best. They know how to spend, they know how to borrow, and they know how to tax. But that's about it, right?
right. I think if you speak to our constituents here in Bergen County, we have a lot of smart people that are in this county. I'm very blessed to be in this county. A lot of people work in New York City. A lot of people work, in the area here, and we all pay taxes. We all get up and go to work every day. We all got to pay our bills. Don't stop. The bills don't stop coming.
Right.
Um, some of us, some of us cannot live beyond your means. At the end of the day, you can't live beyond your means, or
Right.
just borrow and borrow and borrow. At the end of the day, at some point in time, you got to pay. You got to pay the piper, right? I think we need to cut government spending. We need to cut government spending. We need to have an audit of our government spending as well. Coming from a banking background, one of the things I would push for is an audit of our government finances. Where's our money going? Who's getting paid? Where's all this money going? Right? I mean, the CARES Act money. I think we still have some of that money. Where did the money go?
Yeah.
Right?
And I think a lot of this lack of audit comes from the fact that there's no oversight, there's no accountability, and that usually comes when there's only one dominant party who's in charge, right?
Correct.
There's no one else that's kind of looking over them. So that's why it's more important now than ever that we have checks and balances. We have good people like you, Richard, who will get into office and will kind of be like that check and that balance on what the Democrats are doing. Because right now they're just spending and taxing, free reign, right?
We could ask questions. I'm a guy that before I say yes to anything, I ask 50 questions.
Right.
Right? Because if I don't understand it, I'm not voting for. I can't do it. Right? Even in my business world, right? I tell my employees, I tell my when I had a bigger worked at bigger banks, I used to tell my employees, if I can't understand it, how am I going to extend how am I going to explain it to the president of my company, right? So when you come to me, I need to be simple, but make it simple, right? The state of New Jersey brings in money through taxation and fees, right? How do we spend that money? And we borrow, right? Where's that money going?
Yeah. So can I ask you? So as you mentioned in the beginning of the show, you're the CEO, right, of the Newark Board of Education Employees Credit Union, right?
Yes.
So can you explain to us a little bit, like, what does that organization do?
Okay. So we are a bank. We're pretty much a bank.
Okay.
But we are a credit union. The credit union was started 85 years ago by members of the Board of Education 85 years ago, and it's still in existence today. It was started by three people out of a kitchen in Irvington, New Jersey.
Okay.
And today we're a $28 million organization. We're a small company. We have about 10 employees and about $28 million in assets.
Okay.
We service about 7,000 employees of the Newark Board of Education. What does that mean? So they have, like any bank, they have savings accounts, they have checking accounts, they have credit cards, they have home loans. We do personal loans. They want to buy a house, refinance their house, buy a car, used car, new car. We offer all that for our members.
Okay. And the members are the people who work at the Newark Board of Education?
No, so members are that's what we call our customers.
Okay.
Because it's different from a bank. A bank, you are a customer.
Right.
And the people who run the bank are shareholders, or who have ownership in the bank are shareholders, right?
Right.
They buy stock in the company. In a credit union, in a public or private credit union, we are a private credit union. A member is a person who has a savings account at the credit union, and you have voting rights. You have voting rights as a member, okay? And those members vote for the board of directors, and they vote for the supervisory committee. So I work at the pleasure of our board of directors.
Okay.
I have a great team of people there. I've been there for many years, and I've been blessed to work with them over the last 2 years, and been able to help a lot of our members achieve their financial goals. I think part of the problem here too, one of the things I like to do as a senator is to make financial literacy important. You know, what happens is a lot of people go through school, college, high school and college, and they can't balance a checkbook when they get out. They don't know
Right.
what that is, right? So
Financial literacy has to be taught to more people, right?
yeah, I mean, people don't realize what a credit score is and how important a credit score is,
Right.
right?
I
They don't know
mean,
how to balance.
or it can affect your entire life, right?
Absolutely.
It can affect whether or not you can get that mortgage, whether or not you can get that car loan, right? It can affect a lot of things.
And it affects your rate, interest rate. If you have a
Yeah.
good, you have good credit, you're going to get a lower rate. You have bad credit, you're going to pay a higher rate. And people understand. People make mistakes. You know, when you're younger, you know what? You get a credit card in college, you
Right.
borrow it. And say, I'm not paying for it. Nobody's going to know about it. And then you get a little older, you get married, and you want to buy that house. And guess what? 4 years ago, when you were at the university, you got that
Right.
credit card. You didn't pay it. Now
Right.
you got to pay it. You got to pay it now.
Right. So you got to pay it in some way, right?
You got to pay it some way.
Right.
So I
Okay.
think financial literacy is very important in our state. From buying a home to buying a car to having a credit card is very important.
Right. All right. So Richard, let me move on to your district. All right. So District 38. It's an interesting district because from the 1980s up until 2000, it's been a Republican district. It's had a Republican senator, a state senator, and the assembly people have been from the GOP up until 2000. So from 1980 to 2000, for that 20-year period, it was in GOP hands. And then from 2002 to 2021, which is present, it's been mostly Democrat. It's been a Democratic district. So it's kind of flipped, right? It seems like every 20 years, it kind of flips. So I think, and if you look at the district itself, let me just read off some numbers. So in the district, as of February 1st of 2020, there are 155,000 registered voters. All right. Out of those, around 42% are unaffiliated. That means they are independent, right? 35% are Democrats. 21% are Republicans. So Democrats still outnumber the Republicans by about 14%. However, I think the silver lining is in the fact that 42% are unaffiliated. So this district, although for the past 20 years it's been in Democratic hands, is actually kind of like a swing district, right?
Yeah.
It is flippable and it's very possible, right?
Yes. So I think Fernando Alonso, when he ran a couple years ago, I think we lost this district about 5,000 or 6,000 votes, if I remember correctly. I may be off a little bit.
Right.
But you're right. There's a large number of unaffiliated, and there's a large number of Democrats as well.
Right.
I think, like anything else, I think the voter should look at the people running for office, the credentials of those individuals, and what they could bring to the table to make their lives better. The question is your life better for now than it was 4 years ago? Right. If you answer that question, the answer is no. You're struggling to pay bills. You may not have a paycheck coming in. You struggled last year through DMV. You struggle through unemployment services. Your kids are not in school. Things are not going right for the community at large. And so I think as a parent, as a voter, as an individual, each person has to look at, is my life better now than it was 4 years ago? And if it's not, then I would ask humbly for your vote to make a difference for you in Trenton. I am not a yes person.
Right.
I'm a person who looks at all the data, all the information, and makes the best decision for our community at large. That's what I would do as your state senator. Okay. I'm not. That's what I would do.
Right. Okay. So, Richard, it's important to note that you have a ticket, right? You have a slate.
Yes.
that's running
Yes.
with you, right? So you
Yes.
are at the top of the ticket. You're running for state senate, and the
Yes.
two assembly people who are running with you are who? Do you want to talk about them?
Sure. Sure. Yes. Yes. And thank you for bringing that up. I have some for assembly in 30th district. My running mates are Jerry Taylor from Saddlebrook, and Alphonse Mastrofilippo from Lodi.
Okay.
Um, Jerry is a realtor in town. He's been involved in town for many, many years. He was on our board of education here for a number of years. Member of Unico, and wants to bring his valuable insight also to the assembly. Al Mastrofilippo, Lodi resident, a former board of education member for Lodi. I know that when he was in Lodi, he helped cut the budget by $3 million in Lodi.
Right.
Very outgoing guy and very knowledgeable in budgets, and I'm glad to be running with them as my teammates.
Yeah.
And we're looking forward to working together and moving forward, meeting people in our district. I've had the honor and while I'm here, I want to say thank you to all those individuals who signed my petition. When I was looking for signatures for my petition, I had over 200 people sign my petition, which I was very blessed to do. I got on the ballot, and I'm looking forward to our campaign going forward. Our campaign, myself, Jerry Taylor, and Al Mastrofilippo are about the issues in our district. That's what we're going to be talking about.
Right.
Jobs in our district, business closing down in our district. What are we doing? What are we going to do to bring business back to our community?
Right.
And so that's the focus we're focusing on. Again, are you better off now than you were 4 years ago?
Right. And it's interesting to know that I actually didn't know this until I did some research into your district. Well, it's my district too, right? Since I'm running for county commissioner, and that covers all of Bergen County. But it's interesting to note that in District 38, in terms of the demographics, right, it's 69.8% white, 3.3% African American, 19% is Asian. So I had no idea that there were so many.
Oh yeah.
And 16.9% are Hispanic, right? So I think if you add up all the Asians and Hispanics and the African American groups, right, this accounts for nearly 40%, right, of the demographic there. So it's a very diverse district.
It is.
Yeah.
It is. And years ago, I used to say to when I ran the Bergen County Hispanic Chamber of Commerce, we used to cut the grass, right? We cut the grass. Now we own the home. We own the home now, know. And we have doctors and lawyers and engineers and professionals. The Asian community is a wonderful community. The Hispanic community is a wonderful community. Not only that, but we have a large Russian population in Fairlawn. We have a large Asian population throughout Oradell, River Edge, in Bergenfield, which is one of our municipalities. They have a large Filipino population. Right?
So, Rich, let me ask you. So, to you and your running mates, do you have like a special message or like a special strategy that you plan on using to try to reach out to voters that are, in these groups, or to the voters that are not affiliated to Republicans or Democrats? What is your strategy on reaching out to these voters?
Well, you're right. It's a very diverse group. Again, yo soy Latino. Yo hablo español.
Right.
Voy a hablar al español con la gente que está allí en las ciudades. I'm going to speak my Spanish.
Right.
Good or bad. Hopefully they understand me. We're going to reach out to that community. We're also going to reach out to the Filipino community and the Asian community, right? Mm-hmm. But at the end of the day, though, everyone wants to be treated with respect,
right?
Wants to be heard, and wants to have their issues, listened to. We want to listen. I think one of the things, politicians don't do is listen, right? If you listened, you would understand the issue at hand,
Right.
and try to find ways to help those individuals going forward.
Yeah.
One person may have one issue, but multiply that by 10,000 people or 5,000 people, that's a big issue. That's a
So
big issue.
Richard, let me ask you. So you've been on the trail for like a few months now. You've been talking to like a lot of voters. What is the number one issue that they bring up to you?
I think the two are the closures, that we closed down, and they're very frustrated about that. And of course, taxes. Now, taxes is everybody's issue. That's everybody's issue. I think one of the things we need to look at for taxes is that this is not sustainable. We can't be doing this, right? At some point in time, this is going to blow up. Whether it's now or 4 years from now or 25 years from now, it's going to be a problem. So we need to find ways to look at our tax situation in the state here, and opening up businesses, opening up schools, coming back to some type of normalcy as best we can, under being safe and healthy. That's the most important thing. But we need to open up. We need to open up. We do. We need to open up. If you drive through Glen Rock, you drive through River Edge, you drive through Paramus, even through Route 4 in Paramus, you'll see a lot of stores that are vacant, right?
Yeah.
That's not good for our community.
Yeah, I think it's important to note that regardless of what background, what ethnic background you're from which race, what religion you follow, the only color that most people care about is green, right? Money.
Right.
We need money to pay our bills, to pay our taxes, to pay our rent, to pay our to pay everything, right? So I think at the end of the day, the one color that unites us all is green. So, I think that's at the forefront of everybody's mind, especially now during this lockdown.
Yeah. And for me, again, for coming from a banking background, a community banking background, that's my background. I think bringing business back to our district is very important. Open up the restaurants, open up the schools, getting people back to work, getting those centers of employment back busy, with people coming back in, people coming to work. They got to go to lunch. They go to local deli. They got to buy groceries. They got to go to 7-Eleven. All the things that happen in the local community. We need to bring that back. That's one aspect of it. And the other aspect of it is, on a state level, we need to find ways to cut expenditures, address our tax situation, address our school funding situation. That's the most important thing. School taxes, and you look at the tax bill, 60%, 65% of your tax bill is schools. So we got to find a fairer way to address the school funding formula. Is that going to be easy? If it was easy, everybody would have done it by now.
Right.
But we have to find a way, because the way we're going is not sustainable. It's just not sustainable.
Yeah. All right, Rich. Now, why don't we ask a few questions that are fun, right? Why don't we give the viewers and the voters a chance to know who you are as Rich the person, right?
Yeah.
So, Richard, what's your favorite hobby? Like, what do you do when you're not dealing with money and working and doing all that financial stuff?
I'm into working out. I love working out. I'm into health.
Okay.
I love to I jog a little bit. I lift weights a little bit. I like my outdoors. I like my parks. I'm very blessed to live in Bergen County, like I said, and we have the beautiful.
Well, being from Saddlebrook, I know there's Saddlebrook County Park, right? It's
That's right.
There, right?
That's right. That's 5 or 6 blocks from my house.
Right.
I walk there regularly. I see a lot of people there. I see a lot of families. And once in a while you see a couple deers in the park.
Yeah, yeah.
Once in a while, you see a couple deers.
Can be. Deers are kind of they're good in that they're very pretty to look at, right? But at the same time, I think in Bergen County, especially where my parents live in, Franklin Lakes, there's an overpopulation of deers, and sometimes that can be dangerous, right? Especially when you're driving.
Yeah,
late at night, and the deer just darts out, right? So I think deers are a blessing and also kind of like a curse too, right? They're kind of, most people, I've heard some people say that deers are kind of just like an oversized, rat. That they're nuisance. And especially here in Bergen County, they've they're they're too much. They're too many. They're overpopulated.
Yeah, and it's sad too because there's a lot of development happening in Bergen County. A lot of development.
Right.
Years ago, a lot of these areas here in my area, this used to be an onion farm many years ago. Onions were here. A lot of dairy farms that were here years ago are gone.
Right.
A lot of development going on, and so we're taking their habitat. Um, so we got to look at overdevelopment as well. And then I know there's a lot of issues. Those are issues in a lot of towns as well because overdevelopment is happening. So there has to be a balance between development and the nature. And I'm big on nature as well.
Yeah. So Rich, where is your favorite vacation destination spot? If you could go to vacation tomorrow, where would you go?
I love the islands. I love the islands. I would go to Puerto Rico, my island of Puerto Rico, La Isla del Encanto.
Okay.
The shining star, the sunny star in the Caribbean.
Okay.
It's only 3.5 hours from Newark Airport. You could leave at 7 o'clock in the morning on a flight, first thing out, and be at the beach. Be on the beach with a pina colada by 1 o'clock in the afternoon. So
sounds like a dream.
Yeah.
Sounds good to be true.
Yeah, and Puerto Rico now, I mean, they got hit hard with Hurricane Maria several years ago. It's coming back. COVID hit them pretty hard as well, but they are coming back. It's a beautiful island. The American dollar is a currency. They speak English. Puerto Rico is part of the United States. It's a commonwealth of the United States. Like I said, so for me, that's a place where I just go, relax, and just take some relaxation time.
Right. Yeah. Okay. What is your favorite movie?
I am a big Godfather guy.
Okay. All right.
Godfather 1 and 2. I'm a big Godfather guy.
You're not a fan of the third one?
I'm a dancer. I love to dance. People don't know this, but I love to dance. I'm a big dancer.
Oh, really? Wow.
Yeah, I'm a big dancer. I'm a salsa dancer.
Okay.
So I'm big into salsa. I used to go to Edgewater a lot to go dancing. I don't do it as much as I used to, but I love my salsa. Anything to do exercise. I'm a big exercise guy. So
wow, that's great. So once you get into office, you will be that dancing senator, right?
That's right. That's right.
Right.
I love to eat. I'm a big foodie. I'm a big foodie guy.
What is your favorite food?
I'm a big Italian food guy. I love obviously my Spanish food, of course. And nobody could beat your mom's home cooking, right?
Exactly.
But when I do go out, I love going to Italian restaurants.
Okay.
I have Pasta here in Saddlebrook, which is a wonderful restaurant. There's a couple other ones in River Edge I've been to in River Edge. Sunny Teas down in New Milford. I think it's New Milford. Oh no, River Edge. I'm sorry, River Edge.
Okay.
Sunny Teas in River Edge. So I'm getting a shout out to those guys as well. I love my big foodie guy. So you can tell my face is a little round. That's the reason.
I think that's the camera. They say that the camera has like 5 pounds, right? So
yeah.
You.
Yeah. Yeah, so that's why I have to work out. I have to work out because I love to eat. So there's a balance I got to do here.
Right. So you mentioned that. Okay, so you're a big foodie guy. Does that also mean that you are also a big, cook? Like you can make a lot of food also?
The answer is no.
Okay, so you like to eat, but you can't cook.
I'm not a cook guy. I am not a cook guy. That's the luxury and the blessing of having a big family.
Right.
My mom, in the Latino community, similar to the Asian community, call mom. Your mom was always cooking something in her house. Always cooking something in her house.
Oh yeah, look, my brother, he's in his 30s. He's 33. He still goes home to my parents' house once every few weeks to pick up food.
That's it. Yeah. So I have sisters that are in the area. My mom's very close to me. And once in a while I try my hand at cooking. I try it. I don't like it too much, so I avoid it as best I can.
Okay, so you've tried your hand in cooking. What have you tried cooking?
A little bit spaghetti.
Okay.
Of course, Spanish dishes, rice and chicken.
Right.
I'm a great barbecuer. I could barbecue great. That's I
Okay,
can do.
great. So next time you have a barbecue, let me
You're
know.
invited.
All right.
You're invited.
Okay. Now, Rich, speaking of food and and all this good stuff, I do know that you have a fundraiser that's coming up, right? On May
Yes.
4th, right? Would you like to tell the viewers a little bit about that?
Yes. So we're having our first fundraiser on May 4th. I wanted them to say May the 4th be with you, but my team said no.
Right.
So I wanted to call it a pre-Cinco de Mayo event,
Okay.
de Mayo event.
Oh, Rich, it looks like we already have a barbecue to go to. Mike also has inviting us. He's inviting all of us to go to his house for a barbecue.
I'm there. I'm there.
We will definitely be there. Mike is from Fort Lee, and Mike goes grocery shopping once a week, and I know this because he's told me this. Every time he goes to the groceries, he drops at least like $300, right? So we know he buys a lot of good food.
Yeah. We'll be there. We'll be there.
Yeah. We will be
We'll be
there.
there.
Sorry,
My event is May 4th. We're doing like a pre-Cinco de Mayo event. I thought that would be cool. We're doing it at a place called El Asadero. It's a Mexican grill here in Rochelle Park.
And if they want to know more about where to go, they can go to this site, right? GarciaLD38 at eventbrite.com.
That's correct. GarciaLD38 at eventbrite.com.
So that's GarciaLD38.eventbrite.com. For those of you who are interested, you can go there and you can check out the flyer, right? And the details for the event. It's in Rochelle Park?
Yes, Rochelle Park, right behind Garden State Plaza. A nice Mexican grill. The owner there is a very nice man, and he owns another place. He owns 2 other restaurants in the Passaic area, and he was very humble and asked me wanted to do something for me, and so I said I was very blessed. Thank you very much. We do have tents. It's gonna be an outside event on 10th. They have the mariachi. They have a mariachi coming, and the way the location is set up is really cool. It's like a Mexican hacienda.
Okay.
So come, have some margaritas, some Coronas, ask us questions. I know that Ron, you'll be there.
Yeah, of course.
I've invited.
Yep.
Yeah,
I mean,
I've
we're
invited.
gonna be on the same ticket, right? We're gonna be the same ticket, so I gotta support you.
Yeah.
It's not that I have to support you. I want to support you, right?
Thank you.
You are an awesome candidate. Well, like I've said, I think you're overqualified. I think you could probably run for God knows what. But yeah, I think the entire district of 38 is very fortunate to have a candidate like you, who's decided to run, because I know you've got a comfortable life, right? You work in finance, you love your job, you've been doing it for many years. So I think the fact that you're getting into politics, I mean, most good people want to stay out of politics, right? But once in a while, you have good people who want to get in. And I think you're definitely one of those people. You want to get into politics to try to make a positive change, and I think that's
make a difference, just to make a difference. I made a difference in people's lives when I was younger, in the students' lives.
Right.
I've helped, like I said before, I've helped people buy businesses and expand their businesses. So I understand what happens in our community and the frustrations they have. And I think I'm a good listener. As a CEO, I have to take everything into account, and then I make a decision on what's best for our company. And
okay, Rich, I've listed the email of your campaign manager, right, George? Yes. George is a great guy. So this is George's email. So for those of you who are watching out there, if you want to attend Rich's fundraiser or his event on May 4th, you can email this to RSVP. Or if you just have any general questions about Rich's campaign and you want to get involved, you can always write to George, right? And so this is your campaign manager's email. And I guess one of the easiest ways they can contact you, Richard, if they have a question, is they can go to your Facebook page, right?
Yes.
Your Facebook page, this is it, Richard Garcia for LD 38 Senate.
That's correct.
LD 38 Senate.
That's correct.
One of the main questions most people have is, will you be dancing during your fundraiser? I think most people want to see you do your salsa dancing.
We're gonna have some music. We'll have a couple of. I'll have some soda. I'm gonna sure everybody else has some margaritas.
Okay.
But if they want to dance, I'll be happy to dance. I'll be happy to dance.
It'll be free lessons, right? So you go and meet a future senator. You can also get free dancing lessons. This seems like a win.
That's it. It's a win-win for everybody. It's a win-win. Right. And it's an enjoyable evening. It's a pre-Cinco de Mayo event. I think it'll be fun for everybody. The people at El Acerero have been very wonderful to me. And I think everybody will enjoy the place. And it's a place where you can bring your family down the road. You can bring your family there and enjoy a Mexican treat.
Okay. All right, Rich, I'm giving you 2 minutes. Anything else you want to say to the viewers and voters out there? This is your chance. Go.
Well, thank Ron. First of all, thank you for having me this evening. I really appreciate it. I'm very blessed to be in this position. Like you said, I'm a regular guy. I'm a banker. Really was not looking to get into politics, but I believe that my background makes me uniquely situated to be in this position right now. I think the state of New Jersey needs people with diverse backgrounds. We need to represent what we look like in our community out there. And I believe that my background, my history, my ability to bring people together and listening about the issues at hand, I think if we work together, we can accomplish anything. We'll focus on our issues in New Jersey: taxes, opening our businesses, allowing our kids to go back to school, and being able to open businesses. If you have businesses, it's a whole circle, So thank you, Ron, for having me this evening. I'm just very thankful to be on your show today. Sure. And I look forward to spending more time with you on the campaign trail.
Sure. And just a quick thing. So Garcia for Senate38.com. This is your official campaign website, correct?
That's correct.
Okay. Right. So I believe this website is in the process of getting built, right?
No, it's up. It's up and running.
Running? Okay, yeah. Great.
So I wanted to say thank you to my campaign team, Danny DeMarco, George Cedeno, Alejandra Grillon, and the rest of the team, Jane, and the rest of the team, Nelly, and some other folks who don't want to be mentioned. I just want to thank them for all the support. I want to thank Al Mastro-Filippo, and Jerry Taylor for allowing me to be part of their team. Together, we'll bring business back to the 30th district. Thank you, Ron.
Great, sure. So once again, this is your website, Garcia for Senate38.com. That is your campaign website, your official campaign website.
Yes.
And also, if you want to go to Richard's Facebook site, this is it, Richard Garcia for LD38 Senate. Okay. Richard Garcia for LD38 Senate. Okay. And Richard Garcia, it's been a pleasure to have you on. It's always great seeing you. I'm sure we'll be seeing each other a lot for the next, 6-7 months.
Yes, sir.
We'll be really great buddies.
Exactly. Thank you, Ron. Thank you. Have a wonderful evening. Thank you so much.
Right. Thank you, Richard. And we'll be seeing you soon. All right.
Peace out. Peace out.
Yep. All right, guys. So what a show. We've had a great show with Richard. If you want to know more about Richard's campaign, please go to his Facebook site, Richard Garcia for LD38 Senate. It's very rare that we get a candidate that's got a great heart and a great personality and a great background. And Richard hits all those marks. I think he'll be a great senator for our state. And now that I know that he's a great dancer, I'm sure that's an added bonus, right? So, yep. So we're very happy to have Richard on. Thank you, Richard. If you want to share a story, if you think you have a story that is interesting and you want to come on, you can contact us via email. You can email us at realtalkwithronnie@gmail.com. realtalkwithronnie@gmail.com. And of course, you can always visit our Facebook page. Our official Facebook page is Real Talk with Ronnie. We have a YouTube channel also. It's also at Real Talk with Ronnie. So feel free to subscribe to it, and most importantly to watch and to spread the word. So, ladies and gentlemen, this is Real Talk with Ronnie. Thank you for joining us live this Sunday. As I stated, we had a very busy week. On Friday, we had our special Friday with Bridget Kelly. And once again, if you've missed that, please go to our Facebook page and you can catch it. We've got already over 1,500 views, so it's blowing up. I have no doubt that this interview right now with Richard will also blow up. Next Sunday, we'll be here live with another guest, another special guest. The identity of the guest will be revealed to you later on this week. All right, guys. So it's Sunday night. I want to thank you for joining me. And until we meet again, I want to wish you a good night, good luck, and God bless, okay? So peace out, everybody. Bye-bye.